Hello, my name is Eduardo, and in this video I will show you how to model this very simple sword in Blender and then export it and import it into Roblox Studio for using with your characters. Okay, so this is a tutorial about how to make objects in Blender and then import them into Roblox Studio. Okay, well, so I am Asa here, and well, if you check, if you have installed the new Blender version, well, you have something like this, and we're going to start. Today I'm going to show you how to model something and then export it to Roblox Studio. Okay, well, the thing that we're going to make today, I was thinking it is just going to be something like a sword. Okay, we're going to create a sword, very simple sword, and then we're going to create it and we're going to export it to Roblox Studio. We're going to also to export the materials also, or I'm going to show you another method. Okay, so well, first you have here the defaults, so you're going to select here general. I guess we're going to select general, and then we have here the default cube, and then we have the light, and then we have the camera. We can select these ones. So I use the left mouse button, but you can use the right if you configure this at the beginning. Okay, so let's delete this one. Then let's delete this one, and then I have this cube. So we can work with the cube. So well, the first thing that we're going to think about here, sometimes you can use an image reference, okay, for a sword, or sometimes not. Okay, so well, so you can use here your image or not. So in this case we're going to make a very simple sword, so I guess we don't need it. So the first thing that we need to do is here enter to object mode. So to object mode here, you select your object and then you just press here object mode, then you enter to edit mode, and now we can edit this object. As I remember, as I told you in other videos, you can edit these kind of shapes or all the 3D objects using 3 different ways to select. You have vertex, you have edges, you can select edges, or you can select faces. So depending on what you want to do, you can use any of these modes. Now there is another thing, you can select, for example, multiple vertex, for example, pressing shift and then selecting others. You can move them then, okay, or you can select different edges, pressing shift again, or the same for the faces, use the press the face and then shift. Now another thing that it's pretty useful is that you can, for example, I select these 2 vertex and then I just press G. G is to grab, to move things. I am moving these ones. Or I can select an edge and I press again G and then I move it. Or I press a face and then G. I'm just moving these things. Okay, well, now there is another thing, you can rotate things also. For example, I can press R to rotate and it's rotating depending on the view. So you can rotate, or you can press also edges and rotate edges. Also vertex, I can select 2 vertices, and then I press R and I am rotating this vertex. Now for example here let's say that I want to see this thing. That is another thing. When you want to move something or rotate something or scale something, to scale we use S. If I press S, it's going to scale, change the size. Also you can use this with faces and with edges. So scale. So I can use that. So just press S to scale. So, and then you can create some interesting things. Now that is another thing. If you check, we have this thing that is the x-axis, that is this red line. So we have it here. We have the y-axis, that it's forwards and backwards, and then we have upwards and downwards with the z-axis. That in this case is not visible, but if we press here, when we select something, for example, let me select this, and I press G and then Z, check, this is the Z-axis. I can move it just in this axis. So in this case, I'm not having problems that moving to the right or left or front or back. So also I can do it with this. I press just G, X, and it's moving just in the X-axis. This is pretty useful. Also you can use these things, okay? So if you check to rotate your camera, for example, using this, it's pretty handy. Also you can use this hand. I press the hand and check, move it with the hand. Then check, toggle the camera view. It's changing different views of the camera. For example, here you press, well, it's telling us that it's in 0, okay? Toggle the camera shortcut, numpad 0. It's changing to camera view. For example, in your in the numpad, you have, for example, number 1. It's for this in the numpad of your keyboard. Now number 2 is not very useful. I use 1, that is front view. Check, you have the name front. Number 3, that is right. Then you can use, for example, number 7, that is top view. I am checking things from the top view. Or you can use, for example, 1. If you want to see the back part, you press 9. 9 is the opposite, so front, back. If I press right, number 3, 9, and then it's just the left side. Okay, so this is very useful. Also we have the number 5, that is the orthographic view. Orthographic is just to have it without not perspective. So this is very nice when you're modeling. Okay, and this is with number 5 again, you disable the orthographic, so or perspective mode. So, and then if I am here in this view and I want to see the camera view, I just press this one, but we don't have any camera right now. That is 0, okay, because I deleted the camera. So well, now we have these ones. We can see this. Okay, so changing the orthographic, that is the same with number 5 in the numpad. Well, that's it. These are just the basic things. So we can have more things. Also, there is another thing that I use a lot, that is extrusion. Okay, extrude. We extrude. For example, if I press E, it's creating a new mesh here. It's extruding. Ctrl Z to this undone this thing. Also, there is another one that is inset. We press I in the keyboard and check, it's making like this thing. So you press then again your mouse. In this case, in my case, is left mouse, and then I have this geometry. Now I have a new face. For example, I press E to extrude again and check. So we have this shape. So now I guess these are just the basics. So let's model this sword. The first thing that we have here is the we are going to create the base of the sword. Okay, so well, now we have edit mode. We are in edit mode. We are in the face mode. You can activate these ones using the keyboard, the numbers in the keyboard, not in the numpad, just in the keyboard. So if you press 1, you are in vertex. If you press 2, you are in edge, and you press 3, you are in face mode. Okay, well, now we select, in this case, check, we can have different views here in Blender, something that it's pretty useful. For example, I am here in front view, pressing 1, I am in front view, and I create another screen to see everything in perspective. You can create 1 or 2 screens. Okay, so let's create 2. Okay, so here you change the mouse, and then you just press the right mouse button, and then you just press vertical split. Check. And then I just select here and use the left mouse button, and I created another screen. I can do also a division here in the middle, okay? So if I want to have two different screens showing the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but different perspective. Now I can move here, and if I press the mouse wheel, check, I am rotating this thing just to have another perspective. I can use this hand to move it, okay, and then I have it in perspective mode. I'm going to work on this side, okay, so don't worry. I'm going to move this. I can press in this one, I can press T to hide this thing, okay. I press T because I have these tools here. I'm going to work with the tools here. This is just to view. Well, now, also, there is another thing. You can change the shading mode here. This is wire. Okay, this is solid mode. And well, this is just like let me put it here. That's it. Okay. So this is material preview, and that's it. With material preview, it's okay. So we are here. Now, we have this, and then we are going to be here in solid mode, and then we are going to move this. I'm using the hand to center everything. I have selected this face. I just rotate to see that this is the face selected. Also, you can select here and nothing happens, and then return here. So, and then I change to 1. Okay, this is number 1. So here I'm going to press G, Z, and then I am just moving over here, more or less. I guess that's okay. So now this is just for the base of the sword. Now, if you check here, we are in this phase again. I'm going to press S to scale, S. We scale a little bit this thing. So probably like this. Check. I just scale it a little bit. Now we want to make the thing that it's like here. I don't know how to call that in the handle of the sword. But we are going to extrude this part. So we press E and we extrude here, almost here. I guess that's okay. Check it. So now we are going to press now this face. Okay, you can rotate using the mouse wheel. Or you can use this ones, okay, to rotate. And now pressing Shift, we are going to select the other side. Shift pressed, hold Shift, and then we have these two faces. We press 1, and then we are going to press Scale. But, well, no, I mean not Scale. Okay, we're going to press Alt E, Alt E. We're going to make a special extrusion. Alt E. Then we're going to select extrude faces along normals. You click on here, and then you just move the mouse, but to the opposite side, not here, to the opposite side. And then we have this handle. So probably something like in the middle of this next square. That's it. So we can have this handle. We can see we have created this thing. Okay, well, I guess that's the main part. Okay, for the handle, we can add more details to this part. So for example, let's see that we want to create something here. Okay, so to do that, we are going to press Ctrl R and check. We have a yellow line. Nothing is happening right now. Just is a yellow line. If we move the mouse over here, we have another yellow line. These are loop cuts. Now, we are going to add one loop cut. You can increase the number of loop cuts using the mouse wheel, moving the mouse wheel. But in this case, I just want one. Okay, so let's go and click the left mouse button. Then we just drag it down. We just press click again in the left mouse. And that's it. We have these new edges, okay, or faces. And then in this case, we are going to select all of these faces. So I select this face. I change to face mode number 3, or this button. I select this, and this. Now we are going to extrude, but as I show you, Alt E along normals, and then we move it opposite side. I guess that's okay. So we have this thing, and then probably at the bottom we are going to add another extrusion. So we press 1, we select the upper part, the bottom part, and then we just press E to extrude. That's it. We have that. Probably we scale a little bit, and that's it. So now for the upper part of the sword, we can make some adjustments here. I guess we're going to create the sword here in the middle. Okay, now, so this is the first part, but as I told you, I want to apply different materials to this thing in Roblox Studio, so I'm going to export them separated. Okay, so I can write here in the name of this right side is handle. This is the handle of the sword. Now we're going to press here in object mode. We press Shift C to center everything, and then we are going to add a new part. We press Shift A and we add a cube. We have a cube in this part. We press G and then Z to move it. That's it. Okay, you can use also these things. Okay, check. If I use this one, I press this icon, I can move things upward or to the right. Control Z just to leave these things, or in the Y axis. Control Z to undone. It looks like a character. Anyway, so well, now we press number 7 to see things from the upper part. Then we enter to edit mode. Then we can select all the faces if you haven't. So you just press double A. I mean A is for this, and unselect double A to select everything, and you have all the faces selected, or double A, you unselect everything. So let's select all the faces with A, and then we go to number 3 and we press S to scale, and then we press Y to scale just in the Y axis. We want something thicker, and then we just press 1 and we move this a little bit backwards, down, sorry, G, Z, so probably like that. And now it's pretty simple. We're going to take this face, let's see if this is like center. Yeah, it's quite not perfect, but then we are going to move it in Roblox Studio, so don't worry. So now we're going to press, in this case, G, Z, and we go to this part. I guess that's okay. And then we go to number 3 to see the side view, and then we're going to press S to scale, and then in the Y axis a little bit, then we press 1, so I guess that's okay. Press 1, and then we're going to create a cut here, so Control R, and we move the mouse to have something in the middle. We press the left mouse button again, and it's in the center. Now here we are going to select this edge. Okay, so we go to edge mode. We just select this edge, this little edge, and we are going to, let's see, to see what is happening here. So we are going to press in number 1 in the front view. We press G, Z, and that's it. And I guess that's okay. So we have this kind of thing. Also, we can change the shape over here. So for this thing, we can press number 1 here, or vertex selection mode, and we're going to select all of these vertexes. Okay, so I'm going to select this one and this one, then this one and this one. I selected just those vertex, so make sure that no more vertices are selected. So then I selected these ones, and then I'm going to select here, check number 1, S to scale, and in the x-axis, S, X. That's it. Very good. So we have over this part, and we have the sword. So I guess with that thing it's almost done. So it's not necessary to be so detailed. So I guess that's okay. Yeah, so it's not perfect. I don't know why it's very thin over there. So, but we can make some adjustments. So now with the same vertex selected, I'm going to press S, Y, like this, to make it different, the shape. Oh, that's okay. It looks better. Well, not perfect, but that's okay. Now we can change a little bit the handle, that it's very primitive here. So we select this one in object mode, then we go to edit mode, and probably we can make some adjustments to this. Let me see, what can we do? Oh yeah, let's press here, in this case, face mode. We press this one and we select this one using shift. Then we're going to press I to inset. I don't know, something like this. Move the mouse until you have something like this size. And then we're going to press again Alt E to extrude. Then we just move to the opposite side, not to this one. Oh, like this, something like that, over there. Now we go to selection, to face selection. We select these two faces that we have just created. Okay, and then we're going to press I again a little bit and inset, click, and then we're going to press E to extrude. E, Z, and we are extruding this shape. And then we're going to do the same with these ones. We press I to inset, and then E to extrude in the Z axis. We press Z. Okay. And then I guess that's okay. So probably here we click on this and we click on that one with using shift, then again press I, and then we just extrude a little bit with using Alt E. Extrude. That's okay. So we have this shape over there. Okay, then probably we can just scale a little bit. That's it. Very good. So well, I guess we have this thing, this sword thing. So now we are going to add some material just to test. For the materials, we go to this tab and we just select, for example, something like yellow now. And I can change the shading mode here. I have this yellow thing, and then I change this one to something like gray or blue or red. I don't know. And that's the sword. Now, the most important thing is that now we want to use this thing in Roblox. Okay, so now let me check this. This is okay. Yeah, this is okay. It's a little bit too thick, this part. So let's go to edit mode in this one. Then just select this, and then we just press a scale in the y-axis. Okay, we can do the same with these ones. S, Y. Well, I guess that's okay. Well, now let's export these things. We select the two objects in object mode with shift, and then we go to File, Export, and then we're going to go to OBJ. Then we have different options. Okay, and we are going to select here first the folder. Look for your folder. So for example, I'm going to use here 3D objects. I have a folder called 3D objects. Then I'm going to go here to let's go to this folder that it's Peppa. Peppa. Then I select new folder. No, I have another thing over there, so let's create a new one and let's call it sword. Enter in sword, and then I just select here selection only, yes. Now objects as obj groups, no. In this case we are going to use this option, objects as obj groups, no objects, obj objects. Okay, so I guess this is the one, so we are going to check if it's working. Path mode, we select copy, we write a name, sword, and then we just export this thing. I just export it and I go to open Roblox Studio. Well, I just opened Roblox Studio. I created a new project. Okay, so with the base plate template. Now, in order to import meshes or images or anything to your game, you need to publish it first. So I select publish, and then I just create a new game. I call it here, let's call it my weapons. I create it, and then I close this thing, and now I can see this tab that it says game. So, but if you cannot see this, you need to enable in view. You go for Game Explorer, and then we are going to import the objects, okay, of our sword. So now we go to, I created in objects and 3D objects. Then I remember it was Peppa folder, and then it was a sword. I have this file, and let's see if this is working. I select sword object. Now I import, I apply using the default values, and we check, we wait for this thing. Yes, we have the two things. Now we select, now here in meshes in the game part, so we select handle. Oh, here is the handle, and then we select the sword cube. Okay, so that it's this part. So I guess that's okay. Sometimes it is not like very well positioned, so you need to organize everything. We have two different objects, so we can add different materials to them. So for example, here I can go for a material, something like metal, okay, or probably neon or glass or whatever you want. Okay, so for example, if I select this one, I can select something like that. This is ice sword, and then I just check the handle and I click here in a color that I like. So for example, this one, and I select a metal, and I have my sword. Obviously, well, you need to adjust the size, or you need to join or separate things. So let's call this sword, and this is, well, this is called sword handle, no, or handle sword. So I can join these things. So I can use something to, I can just press, for example, here I selected both and I press G and I call it sword, and that's it. So I have joined these things. Probably I can use here sword, I can weld these things. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm going to select weld constraint. Then I just select this weld constraint and I select part 0. It's going to be the handle, so I just check the handle, and part 1 it's going to be the sword, and that's it. So probably you can then you just resize everything if you need to. Okay, so for your models, for example, here I have this rig, and this guy, yeah, it's quite big, so you can resize your sword, and then you just move it over here, and then you check if this is like quite okay for your model. You scale it more, and that's it. You can rotate it, then you move it, rotate, I guess that's okay. So we have the sword that we have made in Blender, and we just exported. okay, to Roblox Studio. Okay, well, I hope you like this simple tutorial about modeling something and importing into Blender. Then we're going to continue with animatronic thing, because we're going to import all the models and rig the model. Okay, so check, this is the sword. So what are the advantages of using Blender instead of Roblox? Well, sometimes you can create things faster. I know this tutorial, it was very long, but if you work and you're working a lot with Blender really fast, okay, so you can improve your models and you can make different objects, okay, so that are very difficult to make in Roblox Studio. So anyway, my name is Eduardo. I will see you next time.